Ow.
Hey Husker Nation, welcome to another video from Just Two Dudes. My name's Louie.
My name's Seth.
I'm the dad.
And I'm the son.
Alright, this is part 2 of our possible Big Ten move video. Where we left off, we were talking about some of the pros of going to the Big Ten Conference. One of the things that we were talking about was new traditions. We're kind of sad to see some of the old ones go.
Yeah.
But new traditions can be just as fun. I think it's schedule.
I think it's really exciting to, like we were just about to say, a potential schedule with Michigan, in Ann Arbor, Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Just all the different places we've never even been to.
Yeah, we've always kind of wanted to go, but now we'll have a reason to go.
And in those year-to-year matchups or year-by-year, whatever the Big Ten decides to do, just the annual rivalries that might come of it.
Yeah. I think Nebraska playing Ohio State every 2 or 3 years would be great.
I'm really intrigued by an annual Nebraska-Iowa matchup. I think
people around here have wanted that forever.
Well, I'm just saying, I think it'd be really good, especially because Iowa's a pretty solid opponent in the last couple of years. They've been somewhat very formidable.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice.
Too bad we didn't have Eric Crouch anymore to run over them.
That would have been awesome.
I think the biggest advantage that Nebraska has as it sets itself to go to the Big Ten is Bo Pelini.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who is a former Ohio State captain, born and raised in Ohio, knows the territory. That's where he's from.
He grew up learning the philosophies of football based on the Big Ten and the coaches in the Big Ten at that time. Coaches he had at Ohio State, maybe coaches he played against while at Ohio State. And it's just really growing up in that area, learning the philosophies. Because to me, the Big Ten, when I think of the Big Ten, there's a couple teams that have gone more to like a spread attack, like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Someone started it with more of a dual threat guys, but when
Bo's already proved he can come up with a defense to stop that.
Right, but when I think of the Big Ten, I think of running the ball and playing defense, and that is exactly what Bo Pelini wants to do. Be physical on offensive defense, running the ball, smash mouth style, stopping the run, putting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, that's really...
The current Big Ten is the conference that most resembles the old Big 8.
Right.
Because you couldn't rely on throwing the ball, because when you came into Lincoln, Nebraska in late November, in early December, the wind swirls in the stadium. It can be 20 degrees outside. It's rain, snow. You can't drop back and throw the ball all the time. So I think Bo Pelini is probably our biggest asset.
Bo Pelini right now, if we do go to the Big Ten, I don't necessarily know if he'd be licking his chops. But me as a fan, thinking of Bo Pelini, the defensive mastermind that he is, and he is a defensive mastermind. He's proved that over the years, and especially with what he's done with us. But just the fact that he doesn't have to deal with spread offenses anymore. No more the high-powered Missouri offenses, the Texas running spread, Oklahoma, all that.
Texas Tech,
especially Texas Tech, just all of it done. Now all you're telling Bo Pelini he just has to stop like a little I-form package.
Right.
I mean, come on, just look out.
There's still great players in the Big Ten,
right? But
it's formations, but
easier.
I would rather worry
easier
about
defense to stop.
I would rather get worried about stopping Penn State's offense than I would trying to mess with Mike Leach.
Exactly.
I mean, that's no knock on Penn State. Penn State's been really good here lately.
Program.
And one real quick thing: how appropriate that Tom Osborne came into the picture. Fired, Harvey Perlman fired Steve Peterson, brought in T.O., who brought in Bo, and now we're led on to probably the biggest.
One of the
evolution in Nebraska football history.
Not just Nebraska football, but college football history.
And we're led by Tom Osborne once again.
Which, once again, here's T.O., another legacy for him to leave. And
if it works out, it'll be another great defining moment.
I like the whole thing. Every time from the moment I heard we might be doing this, I said we have Tom Osborne. I know he doesn't have the complete control, but he has somewhat of a say in it. And having him in this situation, I felt really confident. I trust Tom Osborne. Whatever he and the powers above him decided to do, I knew it would probably be the best. I mean, why shouldn't we trust Tom Osborne?
Right.
All that he's given us.
Another good thing is right now, I know it's hard to think of Michigan as being one of the top 10s in the Big Team, but with their facilities, with that program, I can't help but think they'll be back on top again pretty soon.
Eventually, as soon as they get their head out of the butts and fire Rich Rodriguez, but that's...
You go to Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan, they're all using dual threat quarterbacks, and that's kind of where Nebraska's kind of trying to make their move back to having a little bit more of a run pass option with
spread
their guys.
run out of the shotgun.
Yeah.
No, some of the cons.
Some of the negatives.
Yeah.
We have to say goodbye to our conference rivals, Kansas, K-State, Colorado, Iowa State, and Missouri.
Maybe they might join us. Who knows right now?
And the thing about those 4 or 5 schools is Nebraska has enjoyed, for the most part, for a very long time, complete domination. Yeah, Kansas, we know you came and nipped us like 2 or 3 times in the last 4 or 5 years.
Same as
we beat
Missouri,
you 39 years in a row.
Right.
Oklahoma State, we beat you close to 30 years in a row. Kansas State, I think we beat them 30 years in a row till the mid-90s, and they've played us pretty tight.
Yeah.
Colorado has beaten us with teams they shouldn't have.
Colorado's just...
But overall, for the last 40, 50 years, Nebraska has about an 800 winning percentage against those schools.
Right.
But in with that...
I think now we have to start over. That's another negative part of this, is we have to get familiar with the new players, the players' style of play, the new coaching, the new philosophies that aren't really in the Big 12, and we just got to get used to recruiting. We have to.
What are we gonna? Yeah, what are we gonna do when we play Minnesota? How are we gonna move the ball against them? Oh, Cosgrove. See you soon.
That would be fun.
Another thing is all these new venues. These will be brand new places that our players and coaches will have to go in and get familiar with.
It's exciting, but at the same time, it is a negative because
it's a new venue every couple of years.
Here's one thing: is the Big 12 doesn't have the crowd numbers that like Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State have.
Right.
There's a difference. It might not seem like it, but 10 to 15,000 more fans screaming in your ear.
It'll be our first time at.
It'll be our first time in an environment like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take.
I mean, we've played at Penn State before, but that's been a while ago. That was earlier in the decade. It's a whole new set of coaches and players.
Right. But it's just another thing that we just need to learn how to adjust to if we want to get back to where we belong at the top of college football. Yes.
No matter what happens, if the Big 12 somehow stays together, and we can find a way to make that work, or even if we have to move to the Big 10.
Honestly, I know you. If the Big 12 stays, you're cool with it, and if we leave to the Big 10, you're kind of alright with it. You'll learn how to adjust.
Excited.
But me, I don't want to be in the Big 12 right now. I don't like the bias that is unfair to us. Yeah. I just think the Big 10, my personal feelings, is what we need to do. I think it's good for our program, and good for all our athletic programs with the Big 10 network. And I'm excited for the possibility of it. I'm wanting it, and it's just we're gonna have to see how it plays out.
But our run-first offense and our run-first defense really plays into the Big 10 style.
Yes.
And if we go there, I think we'll be all right. Well, guys, that's our take here. Thanks for tuning in.
Please make sure and leave comments as well. We'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on everything going on as well.